Hi everyone, how are you all doing? How is everyone coping? I am going to share with you this evening a really helpful technique that helps people to feel a little bit safer, calmer and more relaxed. As you all know, I do a lot of different things. I work as a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner. I work as a life coach. I also work doing what's called EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, EFT energy tapping, and I do QTT, which is quantum thinking technologies, and it's working on deeper emotion that is trapped in different parts of the body, maybe relating to some trauma. Could be mild, moderate, severe trauma, but we're working to release that entrapped energy. But tonight we're going to focus on a technique called EFT tapping. EFT is wonderful, it's magnificent, and I really love it. And the reason I'm so fond of it is because EFT isn't really about kind of bringing stuff up, it's about settling things down. And it's a great tool right now for people that might be feeling stress, anxiety, overwhelm, and they can't name fully what it is, but they're just feeling that intensity of emotion. Things are different at the minute for us all. We're in this lockdown, we're feeling that we don't have all of what maybe we need right now, and that's given us different sensations in our body. We're not necessarily feeling safe and secure, so we don't feel comfortable with that. We're not getting to diversify into lots of different areas in our life. We don't have diversity. We're not getting to tap into all of our creativity side with our hobbies and diversifying into our different friendships, and in some cases going out to work and things like that that we've enjoyed. Some people are living on their own, they're isolated, and they're not getting to tap into the energy of love or that feeling of connection, etc. So for everyone, it's bringing up lots of different emotions. But this tool, EFT tapping, is a phenomenal tool. It's highly documented. It's very well known. There's huge science gone into it in terms of the effectiveness of how well it works for people. And you will find a lot of psychologists, psychotherapists, and practitioners dealing with trauma will often ask a client when they're with them, just tap here as they're talking about the emotion. It's similar to the modalities of acupressure and acupuncture. You're going to be tapping on meridian energy points in your body, and these meridian energy points are connected to lots of different organs. So you may feel sometimes emotion of worry in your tummy, and underneath the eyes is actually the area there that will release that. If you're feeling it, or you get a lot of urinary tract and kidney infections, underneath here is for the kidney area. So all these different points relate to different things. We've got here, this area here, I often feel a sensitivity here. But if you actually go onto Google, you will find EFT tapping, a little bit of information about it. In some incidents, you might be able to see for a tapping chart. I have lots of them here on my page that you will find as well, and it'll guide you to the different points of where you can tap. For those of you that are new to this and it's your first time, just tap along. Don't worry too much about it. Just join in and tap along. And what you're looking to do always is to just go with yourself and go with whatever is coming up. So you're not going to get anything by just looking at me doing it. You're going to have to action and do it yourself in order to feel the difference. And as I said, the magnificent beauty about it is that it's all about settling down and calming the emotion. And when we tap on the different points, we're sending a message to the amygdala part of the brain. And a qualified EFT tapping practitioner will normally be very skilled in the talk set that they will use with a client, so the language patterns that they're using. And it's those language patterns, so it's the actual words that you're telling yourself, the message that you're verbally given to the neurological part of the brain, to the subconscious part of the brain, combined with the effect of the tapping on specific points, that is actually doing the work of calming the amygdala part of the brain down, and you're sending a new message, a message of safety, a message of security to yourself. So what you want to do is get yourself nice and relaxed. Some people like to do a meditation beforehand. They might do some journaling, and they like to get really aligned to what it is that they're feeling, what emotion that there is, so that they can name it and that they can really flip it and turn it around. That's not always necessary, because as we tap, sometimes when we're tapping, we can just say to our subconscious, what is this? I wonder what this emotion is. And the subconscious is a very loyal, obedient servant, and it'll always work with us, and it'll always let us know what it is that's happening, and it'll support us and help us. So what you want to do is, if it's safe to do so, you want to close your eyes. You want to take a nice dig deep, a nice big breath in, and just center yourself nice and calmly. And on a scale of 10, you just want to ask yourself what it is that you're feeling. And if it's stress, frustration, if it's sadness, if it's overwhelm, if it's this little thing called a pandemic that's going on, you just want to connect into it and give it a number. So we're going to go between 1 and 10 and name on the scale of 1 to 10, name that number. What is it that you feel it's at? Is it 1, 8, 10? Where are you? 10 being the highest that you can experience. And so by doing this, we're going to evaluate before and after how much we've brought the anxiety down. So as I said, when we're tapping, we're sending a message to the amygdala part of the brain. When we send in that message after doing a couple of rounds of tapping, what's happening is we're reducing down the cortisol level that we are producing in our body. We're bringing that sensation back down. People say to me, how many times do I need to tap? When I'm tapping, I will tap away. You don't need to be so focused on it, but try to get around 7. You'll know, you go with an energy, you're going with a feeling that you're getting from the tapping. And I repeat it about 3 times. So each round 3 times. But again, just play around with it, listen to you. The message that you're sending to you will be very, very much your own message. But what you want to be using with yourself when you're using EFT tapping is you want to be using language that is very calming. So you want to be using around, I allow myself. I am, the I ams, I am safe. And EFT is all about validating. If we have an emotion that we don't acknowledge, if we have an emotion that we suppress and that we don't honor, that emotion is fighting very, very hard to get heard and to come up. And it'll present itself in different ways. So it'll replace itself with another emotion. So like anger or something, but it's always fighting to get heard, so it'll reinvent itself somewhere else. It'll lodge itself in the body and it can create an energy of illness, so it can. We can suppress the emotions with the likes of food and addictive patterns of thinking as well. And it's always just looking for that little bit of airtime, and it's just looking for that little bit of attention. So what you're doing through EFT is you're actually giving yourself what you need. And you're giving yourself what you want in terms of honoring this feeling. And when it's actually receiving that, when that emotion is receiving that honoring and it's receiving that little bit of attention and that a bit of time, what's going to happen then is the emotion of how you're feeling is going to start to come down in terms of the scale of what it's at in terms of the volume. So what we want to do is we want to center ourselves nice and calmly, take a breath in and out again, and in and out again, and in and out again. And normally when I'm doing that, I normally say the word I'm calm, or I just say calm, or I say a word love, or something that there's a nice energy aligned to. So you tune in with the emotion and you want to be saying to yourself, even though I'm feeling this frustration and this overwhelm, I choose to relax and feel safe. Even though I'm feeling this frustration, annoyance, I choose to feel relaxed, calm, and safe. We're just tapping away, and these are specific points that we're tapping on. And you get under here and you might kind of go, I can feel that. Even though I am feeling lonely, isolated, I choose and I allow myself to feel safe. I allow myself to feel safe. I allow myself to feel safe. I am safe. And saying words like, I allow myself, I give myself permission, I am safe, I feel calm. And when we tap and we're sending that message to the amygdala part of the brain, and we say, it's safe to feel calm. It's safe and enjoyable to feel calm. It's safe to let this go. It's safe to let this go. I acknowledge and allow this feeling of frustration and overwhelm. I allow it and acknowledge it. I acknowledge it and I allow this feeling. And I forgive myself for being hard on myself, not knowing what to do. And I understand that that wasn't my fault, and I let this go. I let this feeling of anger and loneliness, frustration and overwhelm, I allow it to go. And even though I felt this way, I forgive myself. So you want to focus and you're looking for the stress or the feeling, and you're tapping here and you're telling yourself nice words like, I allow myself, I forgive myself. I allow myself to feel safe. I allow myself to feel calm. And I let go. I let go. I'm feeling relaxed. I'm now feeling so relaxed. And then there now I could just feel it in my stomach, this shift. And so you just chat away to yourself like that, using calming affirmational statements, the I ams, I allow, I forgive myself, and just go with it and tap on all the points. And that's a simple, effective exercise that's really good. It's used by war veterans, it's used for post-traumatic stress. It's really effective. It's effective, obviously, if you use it, but keep repeating it. I would suggest to people you can do it when, not with your eyes closed when you're driving the car, but you can do it just like this underneath the eyes. If you're somebody especially who holds tension in the stomach, here as well is a very effective point for a lot of people. And here, when you're just at the traffic lights and stuff, just tap away and use very calming, effective, I am safe. I allow myself to be safe. I feel safe. I let go. So a little let go exercise for you all tonight. Have a lovely weekend and I shall chat to you soon.